Well, this is a follow-up to an earlier video. Today is Thursday, and I got my new carburetor for the snowblower yesterday. It's about 32 degrees out, but it's supposed to get some snow this weekend, so I'm going to see how long I can tolerate this cold weather towards putting the new carburetor on. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to try to get the heater out and just heat the area that I'm working on, see if that helps any. First step is to get the old carburetor off. This video is not intended to be a how-to video. It is just for entertainment. Several days earlier I had removed the carburetor and tried to clean it. I was unable to open the main jet, which was plugged, but not able to open the passageway to the float media. This video is me installing the new Amazon carburetor. Getting the plastic knob off the throttle lever. Getting another cover out of the way. Unhooking the throttle linkage here. Okay, next thing is get the new one out and compare them, make sure they're good. Couple new hoses. Some cleaning brushes. Gasket. Looks like they give you a fuel shutoff. Like a fuel filter, primer bulb, so it looks like this one has a choke, which we don't have on the other one, so as long as that doesn't get in the way, see if it works. Leave it open. Throttle looks to be similar. Hose location's pretty similar. Just now the only decision is whether I want to implement any of this new stuff. I think for now, in the interest of time, I'm going to skip that. And always come back later. So we'll see if this thing lines up. Looks like we got 3 gaskets here. So I do see something different. The old carburetor looks like it had a choke, but it was set in the second notch with a little bit of closure. I'm going to set this one on the last notch where it's wide open. If it doesn't work, I'm going to have to back this off. Alright, I see my first problem. The old carburetor does have a choke, and there is a wire that goes into this hole. The new carburetor does not have a hole. I'm going to see if I can drill a hole in that black plastic thing. So it looks like the hole, which is here, once this is in the second notch, it's real close to this spring-loaded thing. In here, it's going to be right in there someplace. So we're going to take a guess. Hopefully this works. Let me get my drill set up. See if we can Looks like 7/64. And go one bigger, 1/8. Let's try 7/64, see if that works. I guess we might as well take this off, this uh, primer. Okay. Trying to get these pins to push back through. Okay, old one's out. New one's in. Guess we gotta take this old hose off. Put this new hose on. I missed it in the video, but I got the hole drilled in the choke lever and the connecting rod put back in. Okay, new hose is on. Make sure this gasket is on here. I think everything's lined up. Let's hold it, double check. Okay, looks like we got this hose back on. See if we can get these back on and the linkages work. Okay, everything's pretty much back together. I'm gonna put some gas in the gas tank now, fresh gas, and try to drain some out of the carburetor. And then we should start it, try start it and see if it works. I didn't catch this at the time, but there's a slow leak there. Okay, when I opened the screw to the bottom of the float bowl, I got quite a bit of gas came out in the beginning and then slowed down to a trickle, which you would expect because at that point it's running on the little needle valve in the float. So I think we're about ready to try it here. So we'll try this primer, see if we feel anything here. Not much going on there. Let's try the choke on. Alright, I see gas dripping out, so that's not good. Let's try to figure out what that is. It looks like it's coming from the hose where it intersects with the carburetor, so I'm going to have to take this housing off again and see what's going on. I think I did find where this goes. This had fallen out at some point in my disassembly. So that's good. So it looks like most of the leak is this hose right here. So I'm going to try to cut some off of this at the very end and see if we got enough good stuff to guess I should check, make sure there's no leak before I put this all back together. I don't see any. See if we can get this back together a second time. Still no leaks, so let's keep putting her back together. Just make sure these knobs are on first. Actually, before I put the cover on, let's see if it runs and there's no leaks first. At this point, I'm starting to get a little nervous. Back to square one. See if we got any spark, I guess. Well, definitely has spark. So, I think I picked up some starter fluid, so let's give it a little shot. Sorry, I don't have the camera set very well. ran for a little bit, so I'm not sure if that was the starter fluid or what. Let's check the carburetor for gas. Definitely gas in the carburetor. I may just have a problem with that choke. Let's see if I can shoot it in the top here for the carburetor. Well, it works, I think. Don't quite have this choke working the way I'd like, but it may be enough to get me by in this snowstorm. So put things back together, clean up, and see if I can get it started without starter fluid. I'm going to revisit trying to pump up this tire. So we'll try these ratchets, see how that works. I lost my video of pumping up the tire as those ratchet straps worked well. 3 days later, we got about 3 inches of snow as predicted. The snowblower worked well. I hope you enjoyed this video. In my next video, I will be comparing this snowblower to a Stihl 700 backpack blower on snow. Thanks for watching.